Hi everybody and welcome to day 5 of Spring Forward. It's a late one for me tonight, just a busy day sorting things out for clients and patients. A lovely day but a busy day. So imagine my delight when I realised that I had to record a video for Mobilisation Day. Whew! Midweek mobilisations, folks. To those of you who are new to these movement challenges, you will learn to love these days because it's when we really start to get into those joints and we really start to mobilise the body a little bit and give it a bit of love and a little bit of nurturing rather than just sort of the strength-based work. So I hope you enjoy today. I'm really looking forward to it already. I'll talk you through it, but as always, any questions, you just let me know. So we're going to start with some hip circles. This is really to start mobilising your low back and pelvis a little bit. So you're going to come up. Now if you can either have your feet tight together, this makes it a little bit more intense, or to ease things off a bit, you can widen the feet slightly and even have a micro bend in the knee. So choose whichever works for you, but essentially all we're going to do is throw the hips out to the side, then slowly bring them forward, around to the other side, and then all the way back. And we're going to do 15 of these each way. And I want you to really just pay attention. If you reach a point where you feel a little bit of stickiness, don't skip past it, don't rush through it. Actually just sort of lean into it, sway through it a couple of times, and really make sure on the next round you work into that exact same area again. Now this is gentle, you're not forcing it, you're not pushing into pain barriers, you're just waking up the body, mobilising those joints in a way that you probably haven't done for a long time. So you can do 15 each way, hands on your hips, or as I say, to decrease the intensity slightly on the low back, you widen the hips and add a slight micro bend to the knee. So that's the first one. With this, just really think about allowing the core to be protective but not overly contracting that it's limiting your motion. So, you know, make the movement controlled but not restrictive. So then we have a twisting hinge. So this one is a great one, but again, it depends on your flexibility. So you may find that your hands are on your knees. If you have something like this, you can instead put your hands on maybe the base of a chair or something like that. Now the legs are going to be pedaling. So you're going to bend one leg as you and then bend the other. And as you bend the right leg, you're going to twist right leg. So if you can get your hands to the floor with a nice straight spine, great. What the key, however, is to not overly round the back. We want this back to be relatively straight, so you're really feeling a nice stretch through the backs of the legs. From that position, as you bend the right leg, you're going to twist the left hand up to the ceiling, and then you're going to switch. Left hand comes down, left leg bends, right arm goes up to the ceiling. Now, as I say, if flexibility wise you're not there, pop your hands on a chair and do exactly the same, just from a slightly higher posture. Try and actually keep the weight relatively forward, over hips, over your heels. Sometimes what we want to do is push our hips backwards, but actually if we bring the hips above the feet, we get a bit of a stretch through those calves as well. And we're going to do 15 of those either way. I love this one. You will, those of you who potentially have a bit of sciatic tension, the nerve that travels down the leg, you may feel this a little bit. So please just make sure that that core and that spine are controlled and neutral and not rounded and potentially stressing those discs a little bit. So enjoy that, breathe with it as you turn and breathe, twist up, breathe out, and then breathe in as you come back, and then breathe out as you go up. So that's your twisting hinge. Then we have got your hip hinge. So you're going to come down onto the floor. This exercise is, yes, it is a mobilisation, but it's also training a movement pattern. And this movement pattern is how you sit down, it's how you get up, it's how you bend to pick something up, it's how you squat. So I want you to think about, yes, this is a mobilisation for the hip joints. It is also being really wary about how to move your pelvis and how to move and bend through the hips and pelvis to protect your low backs. That's really the key with this. So you're going to pop feet together at the back, and your knees are going to come nice and wide. You're going to come up onto your lift up, so you're using your glutes to lift you up, in which case, if you're anything like me, you're going to feel that through your hip flexors already. And then from this position, you are going to tip your bottom backwards and then lower down towards the floor, and then come back up. And then again, lower down towards the floor, and then come back up. The whole way through this, your spine stays like a plank. So the hinge is coming from the hip crease, so the crease at the front of the legs. It does not come from a tip in the spine, which if I show you sideways on, you are going to stretch forward and stretch through those hip flexors. That's phase one of the move. The second phase is a hinge. So imagine putting your fingers on your creases and you're just pushing your bottom back as you come down. And then you come back up, and then you hinge again. And come back up. And again, stick your bottom out. And come back up. Now, if you find this easy, it's because you're not thinking about it properly, and you're probably just plonking your bottom down like this. I want you to imagine that you're really thinking about hinging forward at that hip joint. So you stick your bottom backwards. This stays really, really nice and neutral. You're not overarching the back, you're not rounding the back to go down. It is all about keeping that nice and straight as you hinge down towards your toes. So that's your hip hinge. And we're going to do 30 of those. And really, as you do come back up, really thrust the pelvis underneath to stretch through the front of those hips. From there, we are moving on to your, what was it? 2 for 1, I believe. 2 for 1. This is a lovely stretch because it tackles both your hamstrings and your quadriceps at once. So you're going to come into a low lunge. Again, knee is directly over the ankle. Don't let this front knee collapse in. Really keep it nice and in line. This back leg, you're going to start in a high lunge, you're going to drop it down. You can either keep the toe tucked under like that for stability, or if necessary, or if you prefer, you can keep it flat. And what you're going to do is you're going to start by lunging forward and really tucking these pelvis underneath, remembering that you've got, say, headlights on the pelvic bones at the front here, and they both stay head on the whole time. And you're going to hinge forward, and then you're going to come back, hands to the floor, and stretch out the hamstring, but you're going to keep that spine nice and straight. So you may not be able to have your hands on the floor because your hamstring's just too tight. You may be up here. I was there for a very long time, my friends, so it doesn't matter. So from this position, you're then going to hinge forward again, and then back again. And if you're bendier, hinge forward, and then back. And this is 1, 2, 3, and you're going to do 15 on either side. Take it slowly, use your breath if you want to. So 1 is 1 breath in, breath out, breath in, breath out. Okay, and the last one, you're going to have to bear with me because I'm going to have to check it quickly, is, yes, of course, how could I forget? Sorry folks. The last one is a beautiful side body sway. Oh wait, just to go back to that hip 2 for 1, please again, same story. Spine is nice and neutral. There's a temptation when we do a lunge to sit up and really arch and overarch through our backs. That's not nice. I want you instead to think about tucking the bottom underneath. It may mean you have to come out of the stretch a bit, but you tuck the bottom underneath, and that really increases the stretch through the front of the thigh there. It's almost that you're sort of stretching your bottom down towards your knee, okay? And you're really using the abdomen at the front here to contract to tuck that underneath. So it's a double whammy. You're engaging the core, you're not compressing the back, you're increasing the stretch through here. So really make sure that is nice and neutral. And then the same when you go into that hamstring stretch, it's nice and flat and not rounded down like this. And then the final one, you're going to do a leg cross, however you want to cross your legs. If you struggle to sit on the floor with crossed legs, again, I've been there, you get a cushion or something to raise your hips off the floor, and that will help keep you more upright. From this position, you're going to left over right. Let me shuffle back a little bit. We're going to reach over towards the left-hand side, again as if you're sliding between two walls. This arm's going to stretch over the top of the head. You're then going to reach it round, walk the arms and sweep all the way round to the other side, and hold this side. And then we're going to sweep all the way back around again, and hold this side. And that's 15 to each direction. So that's 1, 2, 2. When you get halfway through, I want you to switch the cross of your legs. So you end up doing probably 7 one way with your legs crossed and 7 one way with your leg crossed, then you switch your legs and you do the final 8 the other way. So with that one, really it's just a case of listening to your body. With your stretch to the side, really think about bringing this lower side of the rib cage forward. What we'll often want to do is roll like this. Keep the chest open to the front, keep the arms stretching over the side. You should really feel that stretching nicely all the way down, and then as you bring it forward, just enjoy that stretch throughout. As you get to the midpoint, let yourself relax forward. Don't worry too much unless you have any signal of stress from your low back, in which case just do the side stretch, come back up and shift to the other side stretch. But hopefully all of your spines will tolerate that sort of forward sway quite nicely. Just remember to do that leg cross halfway through, and that will be you. And that, guys, are your midweek mobilisations. I hope you enjoy them. I know I'm looking forward to them, but now I've got to go do my abs for day 4. So I'll see you all soon, and yeah, enjoy. Bye.